Shalom, shalom, family. Welcome back to Members Only. I just love sitting out here. It's so cozy. It's kind of like a warm, cloudy day, but it's very much cozy. And so, welcome to this part of our humble abode. Now, you guys, we posted and we asked you if you wanted to hear about healthcare. You guys had some questions. Somebody said, hey, with Mauritius having such a high vaccination rate, how does that affect your life in Mauritius? Somebody else said, yes, cover the healthcare so we know what to expect in Mauritius? That is a great question. And we are here to give you the answers, okay? So let's start with back in Tanzania, because in order for us to receive the digital nomad visa, we had to show that we had international health insurance. Now, this insurance had to be from a company called Genki, GENKI.com, Genki, which can be used anywhere on earth except America, except the country you're from. So when we came here, we kept that plan current, had it the whole time, and inputted that into the Economic Development Board to get our approval within 60 days. So we followed everything step by step as far as that health insurance is concerned. And you can see here how we actually received that premium visa in such a short time span. And gosh, this wind, y'all, that's ghetto, ain't it? Okay, I was trying to show y'all, but this wind did look. There you go. That's it. Okay. And so that's, you have to get the Jinky health insurance. You laughing at me. We try not to laugh, y'all, but we laugh all the time, okay? So we had to get the Jinky health insurance for our family of seven. Everyone was on the health insurance. You have to turn that into the Economic Development Board to actually get your premium visa here. The health insurance for us, we spent about $252 for seven people, meaning we could take that health insurance and get a claim if any of us were sick. But to be honest, I look back at the first year we were in Tanzania, then the first year, or now we're at like 9 months that we've been here, nobody has been sick in Tanzania. A few of our children actually did get sick, the younger ones, and we did have to take them to the hospitals there, pay out of pocket, very affordable, cheap rate. But here it's much cleaner. The sanitization is better, and they're not around a lot of sick children at school. And so they just really haven't had any problems at all. And so we have that health insurance, but we don't need to use it. We've used getting our son's glasses. We've had to pay $200 for his glasses out of pocket. His prescription glasses are 13-year-old. But other than that, that's about the extent of what we know of the healthcare system. Now, again, we're young, early 30s. I'm not even 30 yet. And so we don't have any like high blood pressure, any things like that. But from what I can tell of the Mauritian healthcare system, it's very high quality, comparable to like Aga Khan in Tanzania, comparable to the Aga Khan in Kenya. People actually come here for medical tourism because it is quite affordable. Like Tanzania, you can also pay out of pocket and it be extremely reasonable for a higher quality of care. Now, what you'll run into is the French accent. And so you may not understand completely what the doctor is saying, so you'll want to have somebody to translate for you. That can be an issue when you think about healthcare. But for the average person that's healthy, it's not a problem. The sanitation's super clean. There's not a bunch of diseases rolling around. Malaria virtually does not exist, which was a huge difference in Tanzania. Mauritius, and I believe was it Seychelles. Mauritius and Seychelles are like the only countries in Africa to completely eradicate malaria. Like you'll get bit by mosquitoes here, but you're not going to have all these fevers. You're not going to be throwing up when you get off the plane. Some of those things happen when people go to East Africa for the first time. Here in Mauritius, it is not so. And so the healthcare, although it's affordable, is less so needed than Tanzania. Now, when we came from Tanzania to Mauritius, since we were coming from Tanzania, the public health officials came to our house, okay, because we were coming from a country that has malaria, and they tested us right away to make sure we were good, to make sure we didn't have malaria. They're like, hey, we have to do these blood tests on the whole family. We are a country, we eradicated malaria completely, so we want to make sure you don't have it. And even if you do have it, we'll go ahead and treat you here. Of course, we didn't have malaria, so that's fantastic. And you could just tell the prestige here, the level of healthcare. The That's what I love about Mauritius. The level of cleanliness, prestige is top tier here. So that's what we know about the healthcare system. We thankfully we haven't had to use it as much because you don't have a lot of these health crises that a lot of people run into in Tanzania, Kenya, Ghana, some of these other countries where sanitization is not so much of a high caliber thing. Here, it's very clean. There's not trash everywhere. They've eradicated malaria completely. You could probably go and get all of your dental appointments, your eye checks. If you want to go to like a general health practitioner, if you're pregnant, you can have your baby in the hospital here. Similar to Tanzania, you can as well. But the healthcare infrastructure is very good. Now, as it relates to COVID-19, we saw that when we were moving here as well. We were like, yeah, Mauritius is one of the countries that has the highest rates of COVID vaccination. And so for us, it does not impact us at all because we homeschool. Now, back in Tanzania, sometimes our children went to school and we had a scare where, like, these healthcare, I don't even know who they were, government officials went to the school as a random pop up and started vaccinating all the children. Luckily, that day, our children did not get vaccinated. So, like, weird things like that in the school system does happen in Africa, which is another reason why we homeschooled, the same reason why we homeschooled in America. So that's really important for us, that our family can rely on their own immune system and not have these different external things pressuring them to get these insane vaccinations, because we really believe your immune system is powerful, and so our healthcare is eating vegetables, cooking with turmeric, cooking with herbs, living a stress-free life, not being stressed all the time, and of course living in a society that's clean and you don't have to worry about malaria or some other strange infection or some other thing that your children may catch, because we've dealt with that consistently in Tanzania. Now, we had just assumed, okay, all of Africa's like that, but coming here, it's like, oh, actually, it's not. I bet it's probably similar for Rwanda. So cleanliness is something that you really do have to pay attention to, especially when you have small children or you're an older adult that may have a more mature adult that may have comorbidities. These are just things you just don't have to deal with for no reason, right? You may get like the common cold here or something like that back when it was like, I don't want to say flu season, but it was kind of winter. So we've had like things like that, just me and my husband. But our children have actually not have had anything here at all. And, children, they're usually ones that catch different things. And so that tells us that it's a very clean society when it comes to the health care. So, again, as for COVID-19, it doesn't really affect us because our children are not in school. Now, if they were in school, I'm not sure how that would affect them being amongst those children. That probably would be a little bit different. But again, we homeschool, so it doesn't affect us on any level. That's why we are self sufficient. We believe in self sufficiency and being on our own for those reasons. You have better health outcomes, you have better peace outcomes, you have better business outcomes, you have better everything outcomes. So hopefully that helps you. There's not a lot to the story, really. I feel like it was super short, but that is what we know of the healthcare system. Okay, your dog bite. Okay. So tell me more about the dog. I already talked about Jeremiah's glasses, but what with the dog bite? Yeah, I didn't see what they were doing. I don't know what they were doing. Because you went to the, not hospital, but like a local clinic?
Yeah, shalom, guys. It's me. Um, yeah, shalom, shalom, family. Yeah. So, from my experience, when I went to this was a local, clinic in Tanzania. I remember when one of my buddies was working at a local clinic, and I used to drop him off at work, and it wasn't clean. It wasn't like the sitting was outside. So
In
if
Dar es Salaam.
and yeah, in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, the like the sick people was outside. It wasn't even like a overlay for sick people to go to a mini clinic. Um, but here, when I noticed, so when we first got here, I got bit by a dog here on my finger, and it was bleeding for a couple of days and stuff. I can see the white meat and everything. So we decided to go to like a mini clinic. And when I went there, it was very clean. The sitting was proper. The people knew what they was doing. It didn't cost anything either because it was just like a band-aid and some ointment, and they wrapped it up, and that was it. So that's the difference here in Mauritius. The little local things like that is still clean. It's very clean. And from my experience, when we went to the eye doctor, to get our son's glasses. Well, not get some new glasses for him. Um, the equipment they use is very high tech, so that should tell you like that tells me like wow, this is high tech. They really care about certain things like that, and you would never know that unless you experience that in um, Tanzania versus here in Mauritius. Because in Tanzania we went to a mini clinic like an eye doctor. They had equipment, but it wasn't the best. But here in Mauritius, they really care about the best, and you could just like soon as you land here in Mauritius, you can just tell because they have the proper cars, they got the proper vans and everything. So that's the difference, like with healthcare here. Like they really care, and and really like the country in itself is very clean. Like the cars, you barely see any beat up cars really. You see very nice cars, you know, just everything is nice. Everything is nice. So it surprises me that Mauritius is not on the top list of a lot of channels. So we are in a good spot. You guys are in a good spot because we are here and you're listening to this. So it's like, man, these are the gems that people need to hear, but you only will hear if you behind the scenes of Journey with us. So you guys are lucky. I'm telling you. Well, I'm not lucky. You guys are blessed. We're blessed to be here. All praises to the Most High because this is like it's kind of unbelievable. I know we always hear, hey, uh, Rwanda is the most cleanest country and stuff, but they don't talk about Mauritius. Mauritius is very clean. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. So that's my experience. Like just going into many clinics, going into the eye doctor and stuff like that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the information. You have to say anything?
Let us know if you want to hear about the history of the African Creoles and the Afro Indians that were taken into slave trade. Both groups came here, like the history about them.
Yeah, let us know the history about Mauritius. Let us know if you want to let us know if you want to hear it. That's what she said behind the camera. So, hallelujah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And let us know your questions, what type of information you want to know. So, we'll talk to you in the next video. Shalom.